I don't.
Oh,
I am not
so like, what kind of ideas did you give? Do tell me a couple of them.
like what we can say. Actually, I don't remember that, but what?
Okay.
Let
All
me
right.
remember. I don't remember actually right now, but
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
I think I did something, but I don't remember it.
Right.
Because
Okay.
if you don't get the action that you did something good, so it will not be a big issue for you, right?
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Okay. So you just talked about okay, you just talked about one of the process improvements that you like helped make, like that you explained to engineers. You explained stuff using like diagrams and charts. Okay. Is there any
Yeah,
other like improvements in processes or improvements in operations that you helped like create over there? Like, did you
yeah.
give any? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't do it right here clearly, but I was doing that in my previous job in United Arab Emirates when
Right.
I
We can
was
talk about that later. We can
okay,
talk about that
okay,
later. Okay.
okay.
All right.
But this one,
Okay.
I'm not. I don't remember anything with this engineer.
Right. Okay. Okay. Other than this, I believe we're done with this first job. There is nothing and nothing more significant that you want to mention over here, right? No other responsibilities, no other projects or problems or process improvements, right?
No, actually, that's the main issue. The engineer was trusting me for everything. He gave me the key of the office. I was opening it and closing it and doing everything in his absence. He was depending on me to do
Right.
everything in his office.
Oh,
So
okay,
I
okay,
was
okay.
I was the main man behind of him. So if he wants anything, he was calling me. Sometime
Oh,
because he's traveling outside of country, outside of United States. He's
right.
calling me. He's telling me do this, do that, prepare for me this, and send for me that. Yeah, like that.
Okay, all right. And like you essentially worked under like minimum supervision, right? Like you had so much accountability, so much responsibility on your shoulders, right? And
Oh yeah, I guess so. I can, yeah.
okay, all right. Okay. Uh, okay. Other than this, let's see. Okay. So between September of 2014 and December of 2016, what were you doing? Like, were you doing any additional coursework or doing any additional like certifications
Uh,
or?
which
Uh,
between what? Between? Can you tell me that again? Between
yeah,
December?
between September 2014 and December 2016.
No, actually, I was. Uh, I don't. That time, I don't know what I have to do to get my career back. So I was
Okay.
out outline. So I don't know what I have to do until somebody came that time and guide me to do my AIT. I was looking for a job actually.
Okay, right. All right. And like, were you involved in anything like volunteer work or any other thing in any other project, any other personal project? Like you just mentioned your Excel thing, like you created Excel projects for yourself to like ensure that you had like maximum income and you, like to make work easier for you. So did you do that during this time?
Actually, sometimes I'm going to AutoCAD and try to do something.
Right.
That's it. Yes, but not that major one.
Okay.
Just
All
to
right.
improve my knowledge.
Okay. So could you talk about a couple of these like personal projects or like personal things that you did to improve your knowledge, to build your knowledge?
Other than Excel, like AutoCAD. Okay,
Right.
I was doing that. So how I can use the AutoCAD, the new feature in AutoCAD. Every year there's a new AutoCAD program coming out every
Right.
March, I
Right.
guess, every year. So
Right.
I was going through that to understand what the new feature came with AutoCAD. So maybe we can save time
Okay.
and
All
save So if you want to do something, maybe there is a lot of steps you have to do it. Some
Right.
feature in new AutoCAD, you can do it with one step. No need to go through 5 or 6 steps.
Okay. Right. I understand. So you were like exploring these newly introduced features in new versions of AutoCAD, right?
Oh, yes, yes,
Okay. Understood. And other than this, what was that? Okay, yeah. You also said like you were involved in Excel projects. Should I mention those over here, like the budgeting, the Excel project for like budgeting and like income optimization and things like that? So should I mention those
Ye-
here?
yes, I was doing that, and still I'm using this one also in my computer.
Right. Okay. And okay, there's one last question I need to ask from that CAD drafter job. Like,
Yes,
were you involved in simulation, any kind of simulation or modeling in that CAD drafter job? Like, other than like AutoCAD modeling, like, were you involved in any kind of simulation or modeling?
what do you mean by modeling? I don't get your
Like,
point.
okay, like simulation, right? Like, in a computer, like ANSYS.
What?
Do you know about the software ANSYS, simulation
Uh,
software?
no, no, I
Mechan.
don't have an
Okay,
idea
all
about
right.
that.
Okay. Like it's like inputting conditions in a software and seeing like say determining what the stresses in a beam are, right? From inputting like modeling that whole beam I beam in a CAD environment, and then simulating like forces on it and seeing what the stresses are and whether this will break, the beam will break or not, whether it will stay stable or not. So it's something along those lines. Like,
No,
uh,
actually, that's what it was in my study. Actually, like
oh, all
stresses and loaded. I was like we can say structural design. It's in my study was.
right. Okay. Other than this, let me see. Um, okay, I suppose we've done all of the things that we need. Let's move on to your position at like Abu Dhabi as a construction manager or project manager. Okay,
Yes.
at
Okay.
Muhammad Moji Group. So first, could you
Muhammad
start by explaining? Sorry, Muhammad Al Mojil Group.
Al Mujir Group. Yes, and the same company that changed it. They changed the name because it's a joint venture with the
Right,
National Holding, so it
right.
became National Holding and Al Mujib.
All right. Okay. So you were a construction manager and project manager, right?
Yes, when I
So,
joined the company as a construction and project manager, I started
right.
with construction manager. Then they fired the project manager and promote me to project manager and construction manager.
Oh, okay. You started as a construction manager.
Yes,
So, like, when was this, by the way? From when to when were you a construction manager?
I joined the company on
August 2011, right?
August 2011
Right.
and as a construction manager, and I got promotion to project manager on I think February 2014.
All right. Okay. Okay. So, other than this, right. So, what were your like day-to-day roles and responsibilities as a project manager and then a construction manager?
Responsibility was uh, actually monitoring all activities at site and attend meeting with the clients and discuss plan for week and month and monitoring cost and control, material
Right.
requirement
Mhm.
and requisitions,
All right.
equipment, manpowers,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, and activity to finish, or we can say any problem solving or any issue, safety issue, controlling safety also with my safety engineer,
Right.
preparing,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, and checking also QC or quality quality control documents with my QC engineer. you know, that
Right.
job.
Okay. All right. And you said that you were involved in like procuring all these resources, like people, having people on board, like and construction material and all that. So were you involved in like the logistics of that? Were you involved in planning how much you need, uh, like how many resources you need, like what were you involved in exactly?
Oh yeah, in Abu Dhabi, yeah, yeah, it was. I was doing. I need 10 person to do that job. I need 5 person to do the job. I need this equipment for that. I need that equipment for that. For
Right.
long,
Okay.
for like that. So
Right. Okay. So you were heavily involved in the planning, like the planning phase of all these construction projects, right?
yes,
Okay. And could you like talk about like the scale of these construction projects, like how much did they cost, and like how large were these projects? Like anything regarding
uh,
the scale of it, how many buildings did you make? What was this regard? Like anything regarding the
actually,
scale?
uh, we were doing actually when I get project manager, we was responsible for building elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
which it was approximately $16 million, I
Mm-hmm.
guess,
All right.
and
Okay.
it was built on site, and they changed it with our suggestion to the client uh, to make it precast, so we can
Mm-hmm.
save time and we can save money. So
Okay.
we
All
did it as a precast walls and slabs, and
okay.
we save a lot of time for the clients.
Okay. And like how much did these projects cost? Like, or did these cost like millions of dollars? Like
16,
how
16, $16 million.
okay, $16 million projects. All right. Okay. And okay, and you just mentioned that the thing that you did, it saved like time and saved like cost. So could you tell me how much time and how much cost it saved?
Actually, I don't remember how much because I left that project when
Right.
it was in finishing phase.
Okay.
So I don't know how the new project manager did after me, but
Okay.
there is some problem between my company and subcontractors because general manager he forced me to get one subcontractor which doesn't have good experience to do MEB work because we are doing main civil work under our responsibility in-house responsibility in-house work, but
Right.
MEB we don't have experience, so he hired uh, subcontractor, MEB subcontractor, which need a lot of help to support and do the job. So we're facing a problem with that.
Oh, so like, why did he hire such an inexperienced subcontractor?
Yeah, he forced me to get that one, but I cannot do anything. He's a general manager, and I have to listen to him. I told him he doesn't have experience, and it will
Okay.
face problem. So we start already problem with the client. Then
Right.
we get some meetings with them, and we ask the client what's the requirement, and we get some help. Also, do this, do that. So I
Mhm.
try to make good relation between subcontractor and the client, so we can go through it, and
Right.
they start to help us because we get the project and we have to finish it, and we don't
Right.
have solution to go back and force and make the problem. So they start to helping us, and they start to giving idea to subcontractor how we can solve these issues to so we can go through it, and we did it.
Okay. All right. And over here, like, is there any other problems that were like created from having such an inexperienced subcontractor? Like anything that you would have to do? Like you already told me that you provided additional support for the subcontractor. You had to like essentially you had to hold their hand. You had to provide so much support for the subcontractor, and you had to like establish good relationships between the subcontractor and the client, establish a
Yes,
stronger relationship there. So other than
yes.
that, did you? Was there any other problem caused by this inexperienced subcontractor, and how did you solve that?
Actually, I sometimes I giving my team to help them
Right,
with some design, and because we hire ourselves in house, all stuff like mechanical engineer and electrical engineer and all that stuff,
right.
and they were working together
Okay.
to solve all issues we have, and get contact with the client and check the all information that we want to improve the project.
Right. Okay. All right. So, okay. Were you, how should I put this? Were you involved in the design of overhead transmission lines, substations, and foundations?
Design? No, I didn't.
Okay. Were you involved in the design of the facility over here? Like the overall facility, preliminary facility designs?
No, actually.
Okay. All right. Did you compile and evaluate test data, like the soil test data or something along those lines?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Your voice interrupting. It's
Oh, all
little far
right.
away. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, you're good.
Right. Okay. So what I wanted to ask was that, like, were you involved in evaluating any test data, like soil test data, anything like that?
Uh, yeah, actually, that time, you know, we hire one guy from from soil lab, and he was doing
Right.
all tests and
Right.
every as their client's requirement. So
Hmm.
he was doing all the tests, and he was doing everything we are asking for.
Right.
And
Okay.
and
Right.
now, actually, I'm doing right now studying for soil investigation and soil special inspector. I finished the course last week.
Oh, that's nice. So is it part of the same certification that we were talking about? Like,
That's other certification. I think the exam will be next month.
right. Okay.
Yeah, for getting soil special inspector certificate, so I can do all soil investigation.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay, you talked about that, like you hired people to like test, like perform different tests on the geography or perform different tests on the soil samples, things like that. So, uh, like, were you involved in evaluating this test data, like looking at the results and making decisions regarding that, regarding what direction the construction project is going to take based on the test results?
Oh yeah, I get your point. Uh, Actually, we have to discuss this issue with our client. So,
Right,
uh, if I get some data, it's not that requirement. If it's not what we can say, it's not uh, exceed what's our requirement. So I will
right,
go to the client. I will discuss with him what we can do for that solution. Uh, like if combustion failed or something like that, what we can improve and how we can change. We have to compact more, or we have to change the soil. Yeah, and we have to get the soil from outside, or we have to go
right,
through this issue. So if he prefers something, I will do, or I will give him. I was giving him some idea. We can make some gravel or make some more
right.
compaction with more moisture, so it will give more compaction. Uh,
Right, I understand your point. So,
okay.
like, essentially, you were involved in, like, you evaluated whatever test data you got, then you went to the client, you discussed the various options that you have, the solutions and alternative solutions that you had to manage this, whatever
Yes,
problems arose
yes,
regarding that,
yes,
right?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Because, like, suppose the soil quality is poor, so you tell the clients, hey,
Yeah,
this is how we can deal with it, or this is how we can deal
yeah,
with it. This,
yes,
right?
yes, 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 right there.
Okay, I understand. All right. And other than this, I think we are all okay. Planning, design, permitting, and construction. Okay, so were you involved in like the permit, making permits or like developing permits for this project for construction projects?
Yeah, I was following that permit actually from uh, yeah, my main building of the city. So I was
Mhm.
gathering all documents and myself actually. I didn't depend on other people. So it should be
Right. Okay.
guy, somebody responsible for this one. But I was doing this myself. I was going
Mhm.
to the main building of the city and getting approval to do this and to do that. Even I did this one here in LA because our engineer was depending on me to sign some plan and get approval permit with the other contractor.
Oh, you mean you also did it in like the CAD
Yeah,
drafter job?
yeah, CAD drafter, and he was sending me some time to the city to get approval for the plan or getting
Okay.
permit with the contractor.
Right. Okay. Okay. This is interesting. All right. So could you walk me through how you were exactly like how you were like what your role was in the planning process and in the construction process? Like, could you walk me through that uh, after getting the permits and all?
I remember we have to go to the plan engineer and check
Right.
all documents, and
Right.
he has comments. If we comply with his comments, we'll go back to the office, we'll repair it as his requirement, then we'll go back to the city, we'll check with him again that all requirement has complied with his comments, and then if he accepts that, he will send ready to issue the permit. Then we'll go to the city with the fee, and they will issue the permit for the job.
Right. Okay. And were you involved in any analyses or cost estimates or reports here? Like, did you perform any analyses, cost estimates, or reports?
It's not here in Abu Dhabi.
Not here. Okay. All right. Okay. Right. And what about drawing on AutoCAD? Did you do that?
Drawing in AutoCAD? What do you mean?
Yeah. Like, did
You,
you create any drawings on AutoCAD? Did you create any layouts on AutoCAD? Like, were you involved in designing preliminary facility layouts on AutoCAD, anything like that?
in Abu Dhabi? No, I wasn't responsible for AutoCAD drafting because
Right. Okay.
I had a drafter, so
Oh,
I was giving, yeah.
okay. You were
So I
overseeing
was
drafting, right? You were
yeah
leading it.
I'm leading him. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
this,
Okay.
do that, put this line here, put this line there, and
Okay.
that's my job there.
Okay. And let's see. Anything with regards to like simulation or modeling?
No,
Okay. Anything with regards to like transportation planning over here? This is just
uh,
construction related, right?
yes.
Okay, all right. And did you create any performance measures for your team? Like, did you create or track any performance measures for your team?
Sorry.
Did you create or track any performance measures for your team?
No, I didn't.
Oh, by the way, how large was your team?
I was having, I think, 9 engineers,
Right.
and
Okay.
in Abu Dhabi, the manpower is not like here, so it was, you know, we have, I think, 200 manpower,
Right.
skilled
Okay.
and not skilled.
Okay. And you oversaw all 200 of those people, right? Skilled
Yes,
and non-skilled.
yeah,
Okay. All right. And uh,
and approximately
okay.
25 equipment, including 250-ton crane.
Right. Okay. And what were okay? So Was there any were there any projects where you faced like very huge challenges?
Yeah,
Like,
in Abu Dhabi, I
mm-hmm,
have big challenge to fix big puzzle which was I think 90 ton with
mm-hmm,
100 meter length. We have to
mm-hmm,
fix it in the foundation,
mm-hmm,
and the main contractor, we was subcontractor. The main
mm-hmm.
contractor hire crane 1600 ton,
Right.
which
Okay.
spent more than 2 months to assemble.
Right.
So
Okay.
when we get that puzzle, it was main challenge to me that the puzzle will fit the foundation what I did.
Okay. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Right.
And
And
really,
yeah.
when we fixed it, was very happy. Man,
Oh.
everybody coming to me and yeah,